Yes, it is me. I am here for a special Saturday edition of Wednesday Night is Overbooked, even though it's not Wednesday, and we're definitely not overbooked. It is just me. I am Joker Voice, the founder of the show, and I want to talk a little bit about NXT, Stand and Deliver, the event that I was just at. Oh boy, that was a lot of fun. And if you're here in the chat and you're lurking, cool, check down the description down below. I've got all the socials down there, of course.
I'd say you better subscribe or we'll bash in some skulls, right?
Definitely like and subscribe. Also, check out the link to that Joker Voice merch store with some cool Wednesday Night is Overbooked merch. I don't know, just okay. So, Stand and Deliver, the NXT show. And for those of you who don't know what NXT is, it's the developmental brand for the WWE. If you're thinking in pro sports, it's the AAA team for the Major League. So basically, that's what it is. These are folks that are going to be coming up soon to the main roster and on WWE TV. Now, as far as the venue itself, this is at the T-Mobile Arena, just on Tropicana, just off the Las Vegas Strip. I myself live off of Tropicana. It was a nice straight shot, easy to get at too, no problem. However, I had floor seats, and I forgot one vital fact. The T-Mobile Arena is built for a hockey team, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So underneath that flooring is massive sheets of ice. Let's just say by the end of the show, my feet were quite cold, and it got quite cold in there. And I'm sure a lot of you folks are probably thinking the same thing, and that is,
oh, you poor baby.
But hey, I don't like being cold, so hey, do whatever. So I'm going to go through the event itself, just do a quick little a recap, just stuff that I experienced and that I had a lot of fun with. And I did do a prediction video this past Friday, so I also wanted to see how well I did. Now, this was a 7-match card. There were 2 matches that were announced on Friday that I didn't factor into my predictions, but we're going to take a look at the entire thing anyway. And the first match we had was the women's fatal 4-way elimination match to determine a number 1 contender for the tag team championships, for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, which will be decided this Tuesday at NXT here in Las Vegas. Again, right down here, we had the team of Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, the girls from Metaphor, Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, our cute little goth girls, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, and then the members of Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley and JC Jane. We still had Shotzi with the goth girls hanging out at ringside, and Jasmine Nix hanging out with Fatal Influence. Now, as far as the match goes, this match was okay, I guess. This was a pre-show match. I made it very clear that I did not see a point to this match, especially when it came down to having Roxanne Perez in this match, because Roxanne Perez had just been doing a whole lot of stuff with the Royal Rumble, where she was the runner-up to the Royal Rumble. She set the Iron Woman Survivor record for the Royal Rumble. She was in the Rumble for just under 1 hour and 8 minutes. She was also part of the Elimination Chamber. She seemingly had a feud with Bayley that was going to lead to WrestleMania. But she's on a pre-show match for the NXT division. It just didn't make a lot of sense to me. In the end, this was a elimination match. So if you or a member of your team gets pinned, you're out, and the match still continues. Now, Roxanne Perez did get the first fall. She did her Pop Rocks, which is a code red, onto Lash Legend, which was quite impressive. And then, for some reason, Roxanne Perez kind of just leaves her partner to fend for herself, keeping that rift with Cora and Roxanne going, these strained best friendy things. Cora gets pinned. She's out, so that leaves Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley, and the members of Fatal Influence. Now, it ended up Tatum and Gigi hit their finishing move. It's not the most clean thing in the world, but it got the job done. And Gigi Dolan pinned JC Jane. If you know, you know. So, wasn't a lot to really go with as a pre-show match, but it was okay. The crowd was into it at the beginning of the introductions. Further along it went, it just wasn't going very far. That's just my take on it. And then from there, this was the other match that was announced, which was a 6-man tag match between the members of the D'Angelo family, right here, and the members of the new heel faction, the Dark State, Timu Shield, Timu Retribution combined. Now, this match in and of itself was a much better, hard-hitting match. It was a lot more impactful. Actually, one of the best spots of the entire thing. The fourth member of the Dark State was interfering on the outside, and Ariana Rizzo, this little gal right here, climbed up on the top rope and jumped from the top rope to the floor to take this guy out. That was hilarious. There was a bit of a plot twist at the end where the underboss Stax decided to turn his back on the Don. Tony D'Angelo giving him a crotch shot and leaving him to the devices of the Dark State, and that was simply all she wrote for that. But the 5 matches that I did make predictions for, I want to get into those here. And we're going to start with the first match of the main card, which was for the North American Championship, and that was Ricky Saints versus All Ego Ethan Page. This was a very fun match to watch. Ricky Saints just seems like a natural in what he's doing, the way he moves and the way Ego moves as well, the transitions they did. These two know each other from their days in AEW. Speaking of AEW, there was a point the standard Tony fumbled cheer was going around, and at one point, even the crowd started cheering, "Thank you, Tony," thanking Tony Khan for releasing Ricky Saints. Also, I like to mention that the Euro-style cheering that we've been hearing for Cody Rhodes was also being used for Ricky Saints as well. Ricky Saints, Ricky Saints. It was cute. It was fun. I enjoyed it. This match was never in question. This was going to be Ricky Saints' match to win, as I believe Ethan Page is heading up to the main roster to be in the mid-card, probably of SmackDown. So Ricky Saints got the win there. Then we came to this match. Now, this was a match I was concerned about because I had made a pick, and I've made picks before because I believe that these guys are headed to the main roster anytime soon, and I've been wrong almost every time. And that is for the NXT Tag Team Championships. We have Fraxium, which is the best tag team in WWE right now, versus Hank and Tank. This match was a banger right from the start. These guys, Fraxium has just been incredible. The chemistry that these two have together, and actually with this fast-paced of a match, I was surprised that Hank and Tank really stayed with Fraxium. Now, I did pick Hank and Tank to go over and become the new NXT Tag Team Champions. I was correct, but I was worried at one point. At one point, Hank had been laid out on the table after a suicide dive he missed, and then that left Tank in there to take the Spanish Fly from Axiom, followed by the Phoenix Splash from Nathan Frazier. When they hit that combo, it's a wrap. It's game over. Hank out of nowhere breaks up the pinfall, makes the save, and then they do this God, this running power slam into a running tackle as well. Hey, hello, sir, Mr. Akira. The Fraction match was the best match of the night. It was absolutely one of the best matches of the night. Easily the best WWE tag team match of this year so far. Thank you for stopping by, sir. So this was like a running power slam with a running shoulder tackle coming in to add more impact. The 1, 2, 3, and the crowd was really behind Hank and Tank the entire match. And so we have new NXT tag team champions with Hank and Tank. These guys showed up, they showed out, and it was really cool to watch. As I said, I truly think that Fraxium is headed to the main roster. They are desperately needed there, especially over on Raw in the tag team division. So there we go. That was that. That was a banger of a match. So right now I'm 2 for 2 in my picks. So I'm feeling good for the rest of the show here, especially since I didn't expect this one to go over as it did.
It's so badass.
Because it was. Then we had what I thought was going to be a really exciting match, and it was for about the last 90 seconds. But this was the women's 6-pack challenge ladder match for the NXT Women's North American Championship that was vacated by Stephanie Vaquer, who I'll talk about later. So the participants in this were Kalani Jordan, who won the inaugural Women's North American Championship in a ladder match. We have Sol Ruka, Izzy Dane from the faction, the Culling. We have Zarya, one of the big free agents signings from Australia, from the same promotion that gave us Rhea Ripley. The returning fan favorite, Thea Hale, formerly of Chase U, and Lola Vice. As I said, for a ladder match, this is generally my wrestling love language. I love ladder matches. Did it have the quite of an impact of ladder matches that I've seen in the past? No, not really. Was it fun to watch? Sure. Like I said, the last 90 seconds, Sol Ruka hit like 3 soul snatcher finishes, which is just a gorgeous looking finish. She does a flip into a cutter off the ropes. And Sol Ruka is the new Women's North American Champion. Now, I had picked Thea Hale because I thought that her return would make a great WrestleMania weekend moment. Yeah, it was weak. It wasn't the greatest ladder match that I've seen. I've seen a lot worse. So, but congratulations to Sol Ruka as the new Women's North American Champion. I'm glad to see her finally getting some singles gold. That was definitely something to see. Then what I thought was going to be the main event, because NXT has the absolute most stacked women's division on the planet right now. So I thought that this match was going to be the main event. And this is the Fatal 4-Way match for the NXT Women's Championship with Jada Parker, Jordan Grace, the free agent signing from TNA, the former Knockouts champion, Julia, the former NXT Women's Champion, and the current NXT Women's Champion, the Dark Angel, La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. I'm just going to say this right now. Stephanie Vaquer is on another level as far as an in-ring performer goes.
Well, you're not wrong.
I've said that she is probably the second best female bell-to-bell talent-wise on the entire WWE roster, next to Io Sky. That's just my take on this. The match was a good match. It had good performances from everyone. The story is truly between Julia and Stephanie going forward. I believe Jordan Grace has a main roster call up coming soon. She was kind of a non-factor. And to be quite honest, I was really surprised, pleasantly surprised, that Jada Parker, who's kind of the relative newbie in this group of four, was able to hold her own and really step up her performance with these four seasoned pros. Now, in the end, Stephanie DeVaquer hits a spiral tap, which is a corkscrew moonsault off the top rope, and then hits her SVB, the Stephanie Vaquer backbreaker, onto Jordan Grace for the 1, 2, and 3. So winner and still NXT Women's Champion Stephanie Vaquer. And of course, on my way out, I just had to get something for myself. So you can all be jealous now. So that leaves us with one match to go, and that was the main event. And again, this was something I did not expect to be the main event. But for the NXT Championship, we have the former two-time champion, Trick Williams, the 20-year-old sensation. Yeah, 20 years old. He's in one of his little video packages he talked about. He's in Las Vegas, and there's really nothing he can do here, which is very true. Versus the current NXT champion, the ruler, Oba Femi. Oba Femi is freaking amazing. Now, we've seen the match with Trick, and we have seen the match with Trick and Oba before. It was boring. I'm not a big fan of Trick. Yes, it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was Jordan Grace's first time being pinned in NXT. That is correct. And actually, there was some after footage when Stephanie's doing photo ops with her belt that Roxanne got in and is trying to take the credit for Stephanie's win. So I guess Roxanne's not done with NXT just yet. Just get her to the main roster, please. That's just my take on this. So this match here, Javon Evans added a big boost of energy because, frankly, I'm not a Trick Williams fan. I think he wrestles way too upright and he's way too stiff, and he's not ready for main roster yet, in my opinion. There's a lot of folks that don't hold that opinion, but it's my show and I can have whatever opinion I want. But so Javon was phenomenal in this match. His ability to bounce off the ropes and create situations for countering the power moves of Trick and Oba was something really to behold and watch, and that's a lot of fun. So in the end, though, Oba is, like I said, he is on another level. I think he should stay in NXT for at least another year. Let him cook a little more. Don't rush to bring him up to the main roster just yet, because there was at the end of the match, he hits the fall from grace power bomb on Trick, and he's not done. He picks up Javon, who's 180 pounds. Oba's 310, and gives just this thunderous sit down power bomb for the 1, 2, 3, and that's all she wrote. Winner and still champion, Oba Femi. So I actually went 4 for 5. Not too shabby. Again, folks, I don't get the scripts, contrary to what my partners on Wednesday nights say. But yeah, energy in the fans was great. It's fun being in you if you've never been to one of these events, you can't help but kind of get swept up in the moment. You start chanting along, and it's just a lot of fun. But yeah, like I said, this is a quick recap for NXT Stand and Deliver because we got about an hour until WrestleMania Night 1 starts, and I got to get excited for that because I got stuff to go cook. I'm cooking food right now. But I want to thank everyone for stopping by in the chat. Make sure to drop a like and make sure to recommend the stream to your friends. And stay tuned because I believe we're going to be doing another special time on Wednesday. We'll be doing 6 p.m. Pacific time for Wednesday night is overbooked. But I want to thank everyone for being a part of this show today. And I will see you all very, very soon. So hoping you guys have a great WrestleMania weekend. Have a great week ahead of you. Keep talking, keep smiling, keep having fun. Until next time, toodles.
And here we go.
Is like gravity. All it takes is a little push. Ah!